Hello friends, welcome to my channel Rinku HandCrafts. Today we are going to see how to make crochet mandala. The pattern is really beautiful and it's really easy to make this mandala. I am going to make this in single color. If you want, you can use different colors to make it more vibrant. So let's start. Now to start, first we'll create magic circle for the center. For that, hold your yarn like this. Make a cross, insert your hook like this, pull this yarn, make a loop, and then pull the yarn through this loop to create a magic circle. And now here our magic circle is created. I'm just going to pull this end to make it a little bit smaller so it will be easier to work in that magic circle. Now here I'm going to start my round 1. For that, I'll chain 1. This chain we are not going to consider in stitch count. Now in this magic circle I'm going to make 12 single crochet stitches. So for single crochet, insert your hook, pull the yarn. You have 2 loops on the hook, pull the yarn through 2 loops. Now like this I'll make my next single crochet stitch, and like this I'll complete 12 single crochet stitches, and once I'm done with that, then I'll meet you back here. Now here I have made my 12 single crochet stitches. Now to complete the round, I'll just pull this loose end to close this circle. And now to complete round 1, make a slip stitch on top of this first single crochet stitch. And now here our round 1 is completed. Now after this, chain 3, and now we are starting our round 2. And now in this same loop, make 1 double crochet stitch, and this chain 3 we are going to consider this as 1 double crochet stitch, like this. Now here in this same loop we have 2 double crochet stitches. Now here chain 2. Now skip 1 loop here, this one V loop, skip that, and in this next loop we are going to make 2 double crochet stitches. So for double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook below that loop, below that V loop, pull the yarn. You have 3 loops on the hook, pull the yarn from first 2 loops, pull the yarn from next 2 loops. And now we'll make 1 more double crochet stitch in the same loop. So this crochet mandala is really easy to make even for beginners, because the basic stitches are used in this mandala. Now after this, again chain 2, skip 1 loop here. Now in this next loop, make 2 double crochet stitches in the same loop. Now again chain 2 and follow the same sequence till you reach here, and here at the end of round 2 you should have total 6 group of this double crochet stitches and 6 gaps like this. So once you are done with that, then meet me back here at the end. Now here I am at the end of round 2. I have done my 2 chains. Now to join this round, we are going to make a slip stitch on top of this chain 3. And now for round 3 we are going to work in this next gap. So to jump to that gap, here in this next loop we are going to make 1 slip stitch like this. Now in this gap make 1 single crochet stitch, then chain 2 like this. And now here we are going to do the cluster of double crochet stitches. So for that, yarn over, insert your hook in this gap, pull the yarn. You have 3 loops on the hook, pull the yarn from first 2 loops. Don't make double crochet stitch fully, make it just halfway. Now after this, again yarn over, insert your hook in the gap, pull the yarn from first 2 loops. And now you have 3 loops on the hook. So once you have 3 loops on the hook, pull the yarn from all 3 loops at once. Now after this, chain 3. And now we are going to jump to this loop, middle of, in between these 2 double crochet stitches. So in this loop we are going to do our next, this cluster of double crochet stitch. Now for that, yarn over, insert your hook in this loop, pull the yarn from first 2 loops, yarn over, insert your hook in the loop, pull the yarn from first 2 loops. You have 3 loops on the hook. Now except this first stitch, here we should have total 4 loops on the hook. Now yarn over again, insert your hook, pull the yarn from first 2 loops. Now here you can see you have 4 loops on the hook. Now pull the yarn from first 3 loops and then pull the yarn from next 2 loops. Here, as we had done this chain pattern here, that's why we pulled our yarn through 3 loops only, but from now onwards we'll pull our yarn through 4 loops, first 3 and then 2. Now after this, chain 3, and now we'll jump to this next gap. Again yarn over, insert your hook, pull the yarn from first 2 loops, yarn over, insert your hook, pull the yarn from first 2 loops, again yarn over, insert your hook, pull the yarn from first 2 loops. Now here you have 4 loops on the hook. Now pull the yarn from first 3 loops and then 2 loops. Again make chain 3, and now in between these double crochet stitches, on top of this V loop, here we are going to do the same cluster of double crochet stitch. And now like this you can continue, and you can make this cluster of double crochet stitches throughout this round. And don't forget to make this chain 3, because it will give us this gap, and in this gap we are going to work in our next round. So once you complete this round, then meet me back here at the end. Now here I am at the end of round 3, and here you can see this is our first cluster, and here we need to make one more cluster in between these double crochet stitches, so don't get confused. Then chain 3, and now you can join this round by doing slip stitch on top of this cluster. So here you can see in this loop I am going to make a slip stitch, and here we have completed our round 3. Now after this, chain 3, and this chain 3, and this we are going to consider as one double crochet stitch, this one, but that we will consider for this last gap. Now for this first gap we are going to make 5 double crochet stitches here, so we are just directly going to do our double crochet stitches here in the gap, jump to the gap directly with double crochet stitches, and make total 5 double crochet stitches in the gap. Now after this we are going to jump to this next gap, and we are going to make 5 double crochet stitches here in the next gap, and like this in each of these gaps we are going to make 5 double crochet stitches. So when you complete this round and when you are here, then meet me back again. And now here I am at this last gap. Now here instead of 5 I'll make 4 double crochet stitches, because we have this chain pattern also. This we are going to consider as 1 double crochet stitch. So I'll make 4 double crochet stitches here to complete our round 4. And now at the end of round 4 you should have total 60 double crochet stitches. Now to join this round, again we'll do slip stitch on top of this chain. Now like this our round 4 is completed, and this is how our project looks right now. Now after this we'll start round 5. For that chain 1, and now the round 5 is going to be the round of single crochet stitches, 1 single crochet stitch in each of these loops. So here in the same loop we are going to make 1 single crochet stitch, because we don't want to miss any stitch, because stitch count is important in this particular mandala project. Here I have made my 1 single crochet stitch. Now in this next one I'll make 1 single crochet stitch, and like this in each of these loops I am going to make 1 single crochet stitch each. Now this crochet mandala or crochet doily, these crochet projects are gaining a lot of popularity these days, because first of all it's really easy to make and you can make it with any color you want. So if you make it with so many different colors, the single project, then it looks really vibrant. And the next reason is it has so many uses. So you can use this crochet mandala for your tabletop, or you can make a blanket with this mandala, or you can use it as decoration purpose, like for wall hanging, and you can use this as, you can make pillow cover also with this mandala, so adding some more patterns to it. So you can make a round pillow cover also. So there are so many different uses, and that's why this mandala is getting popular now these days. So like this, make 1 single crochet stitch, and once you complete this round, then meet me back here at the end. And now here I am done with my single crochet stitch. Now to join this round 5, I am going to slip stitch on top of this first single crochet stitch like this. And now to start round 6, we are going to do this same pattern of double crochet stitch cluster here. For that, chain 3. So mandala is basically the repetition of your rounds again and again. So if you want bigger, you can just repeat these rounds and it looks beautiful. So after this, chain 3, here in this next loop here, I'm going to make the same this cluster pattern. So for that, yarn over, insert your hook in this next loop, pull the yarn from first 2 loops. Here you have 2 loops on the hook. Again, do it one more time, yarn over, insert your hook in this next loop, then pull the yarn through 2 loops. Now you have 3 loops on the hook. Now pull the yarn from all 3 loops at once. This first cluster is going to be a little bit different than the other one. Here when you have 3 loops on the hook, then we pull the yarn. Now after this, chain 3. Now for that, yarn over, insert your hook in this next loop, pull the yarn from first 2 loops. Now you have 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, insert your hook in this next loop. So every time we are going to insert hook in new loop, then pull the yarn from first 2 loops. You have 3 loops on the hook. Again do it one more time, yarn over, insert hook in this next loop, pull the yarn from first 2 loops. Now here you have 4 loops on the hook. Now pull the yarn from first 3 loops, and then you have 2 loops on the hook. Now pull the yarn from 2 loops like this. So this is our second cluster. Now after this, chain 3, now here in this next loop, without skipping any loop, we are going to start our third cluster. Then again chain 3. So like this, continue this around. So here you have total 60 single crochet stitches. So at the end of this round you should have total 20 such clusters. So once you are done with that, then meet me back here at the end. Now here I am at the end of round 6 and I have done this last chain 3. Now to join this round, I am going to do the slip stitch on top of this cluster. So here in this loop I am going to make a slip stitch. Like this. Now to start round 7, we are going to chain 1 and make 1 single crochet stitch in this same loop. This is going to be the last round for this mandala. Now after this, we are going to work in this gap. So for that we are going to do 1 half double crochet stitch. So for half double crochet, yarn over, insert your hook in the gap, pull the yarn. You have 3 loops on the hook, pull the yarn from all 3 loops at once. So this is our half double crochet stitch. Now after this, make 3 double crochet stitches in the same gap. Now after this, 1 half double crochet stitch in the same gap, like this. And now we are going to do 1 single crochet stitch in this gap, this small gap you can see here. In this gap we are going to do 1 single crochet stitch like we did here at the start. Here like this. Now again we are going to jump to the next gap and do the same stitches, 1 half double crochet stitch, 3 double crochet stitches, and then 1 half double crochet stitch in the same gap. And like this we are going to repeat these stitches in each round, or in each gap. And after this, 1 single crochet stitch in this small gap, or you can say top of this cluster. We are going to do 1 single crochet stitch. Now again same pattern will repeat, 1 half double crochet stitch, 3 double crochet stitches, and then 1 half double crochet stitch, and like this complete this last round. And here you can see how this project is turning. Here you can see. So this is the finish we want. So like this, complete this round and then meet me back here at the end. And now here I am at the end of round 7, and now to join this last round I am going to make a slip stitch on top of this first single crochet stitch. So here I'll make 1 slip stitch, and to make it more secure I'll make slip stitch in this next loop also. So here I'll make 1 more slip stitch. Now chain 1, and now you can cut the yarn. And now here you can see this beautiful crochet mandala is ready. You can make this mandala using cotton yarn also. That will give you a little bit flat look, and if you use acrylic yarn, because I am using this for decorative purpose, so I don't mind being it acrylic. So if you are using acrylic yarn, then the work or the project you are making, it will look a little bit heavier than the cotton yarn. So it depends on your project specification which type of yarn you want to use. So I hope you liked my video. If you like it, then please give a big thumbs up. Please share my channel with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe it. Thank you so much for watching the video. See you soon in the next one.